yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. One smart fella, he smelt fart. In a time long ago, there was a company called Bungie, and they made Halo. Well, at the time, it wasn't that name, and it looked like something from the Microsoft DOS. And upon making that game that they didn't know was Halo yet, Microsoft bought them and made it Halo. And for the next several years, they revolutionized the gaming industry with Halo 1, a good game, and Halo 2, a rust game that was no way near done. Still revolutionized the online gaming industry as we know it. Xbox Live, oh, what a baby born. Write that down, they did well even when they failed. But as time went on, they found themselves growing tired, wishing to be free of the oppressive shackles of Microsoft and all their funding and actual freedom they gave them. So, what they did is they made a Halo ODST and Reach, and they ran the fucketh away into the free, open fields, into the tweeting skies of do whatever you want, no more publisher, no more control. And then they joined Activision. And from that, Destiny was born. And it was shit. Fear not though, for the low price of more of your money, the game got good. And slowly but surely, Destiny got good again, with a little bit of evil slowly creeping in as Eververse took hold and microtransactions begins? What tense am I speaking in? But despite that, the game was coming into its own, getting better and better, finally finding its identity. And they made a sequel and got rid of all the good stuff. But don't worry, because what they lost in gameplay and quality and all the foundations of what you actually play, they improved all the things you pay for. Eververse Store 2.0, here you go. Come get your new toys! And that is what we are focusing on today. The monetization of Destiny, where I don't even have to talk about Destiny 1's weird record books, which was a situation of you do some in-game achievements and then, fuck's sake, pay for the privilege of getting the unlock of the achievements you did. That's what a record book was. Play the game and then pay to get the thing you played for. Monetization! The game! So, in case you didn't know, Destiny, despite its label on Steam, is not free to play. Or at least, it wasn't always. And I'd argue it still isn't. A free-to-play game where you don't even get to play what Destiny really is when you get what is free. That's not free to play. That's free to demo and or try. That's bullshit. You're not even playing the same game. Not the game this one's playing, silly bollocks. But no, before that lie came about, back in the day, you actually had to pay for the game. The base game. The good old £60 and or dollars. Don't know how it's the same. Never got that. But hey, they get us in VAT in the end. Bastards. And when you weren't paying for that, you were paying for the DLCs that exist. Like Curse of Osiris. Do you remember that one, cameraman, that's not canonical yet?
I do remember that.
You're not canonical yet! What did I say? Even though it was a barrel of dilapidated dog shit, you still had to pay for it. I don't remember the price. This is why I've got this. Not him. And that was $20. Not that you can probably see that on this, hang on. $20! I could have possibly gone onto the Steam page to see if it was still listed there, but I do doubt it, because I don't think they're selling it anymore. Because we've not even gotten to the reason as to why yet, but you might be able to guess. Which means the subsequent DLC was also $20, and I forgot. Warmind. Don't Warmind if I do, paying for a piece of garbage that's like slightly less stinky than the last one. Oh good. Slightly less odour on the bacteria forming in my living room. Thanks! And I'm pretty sure there's obviously going to be an edition of the base game that comes with the season pass, so it'd probably only end up being a total of like $80 or $90 and or pounds. But hey, I don't really give a shit. They did. That's all it was. But fear not, because even though the game was not that great, and the DLCs, there was the Eververse store. At launch, loot boxes. Loot boxes on top of $20 for an experience that's akin to torture. $20 for ouch, and then how about 80 more just to maybe get that thing you want, because it's a loot box! I wouldn't know anything about that. I definitely didn't end up doing several of them because I'm a problem. So assuming that you wanted to own everything of Destiny 2 year one, including most of the items, that'd be $90 for the play, and holy mo, I couldn't even begin to guess how many things for the pay. Let's launch the game and try and figure it out. This will fucking launch soon. Season 1, Ghosts. For Ghosts alone, we have 26 of the bastards. They're legendary. look at their exact same shape except for maybe 2 of them, and they're all slightly different colours. And then, for the ships, there's 29 of the supposedly good ones that aren't really, and 6 of the actually unique ones. Get a load of that on your gums. Do you think you're gonna get one of these that you wanted in the first few loot boxes, or do you think you're gonna get some of the trash? And then here, on Sparrows, 18 of the fillers and 3 of the good ones. You can see the patterns and stripes that the intern came in and painted with a little brush, and you can see the actual effort. Actually, no, you can't. No, Sparrows don't even look that good. Here's the not good one. Here's the good one. I'm pretty sure it's the arsehole that's a little bit more special. And then we have the filler effects. The trans amount effects. There's 20 of the okay ones, and ironically, 3 of the air quotes filler are actually better than the good filler. You know what I want to spend money on, potentially, even though you didn't spend money on it. You spend money on the chance to gamble, but it's not gambling. It's not gambling. You're not putting your money down for a monetary value transaction of what actually something is. You can't get money back. No, it's not gambling. The money just stays in the fucking computer till you spend more to get the thing you wanted. It's not gambling. I really want to spend money on an effect where I load in and I'm dead and I've respawned. I will see that for a collective 0.2% of my playtime if I'm good, and a collective 0.5% if I'm shit. 5 good ones and 20 bad ones. In the category of filler, there's filler for the filler too. They didn't have finishes until Season 8. You pay for the privilege of being able to go, oh, and then I forgot. Although I have no idea of knowing what was Season 1. Holy mother of...
That's a lot of shaders.
That's 1 page of shaders, Luke. There's 3 more selections. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 333. Fuck's sake. And of those 349, about 60 of them were available at launch. Now what you're thinking? Alright, it's not that bad. It's only 60 shaders to collect and then you're good. No, it isn't! They were consumable! You got 1! And you could spend it once! And you needed another. You didn't need to pay for it. You did need to go into your collections and drag them out, I do believe. Or maybe you did need to pay for them back then. I might actually be having a coping mechanism happening in my head right now. Shaders, the colour to customise your dude, paid and consumable. So unless I'm crazy, that's the majority, if not all, of the monetization in year 1, season 1. No, we talked about season 2 and 3. I don't have the numbers. Well, I do have the numbers, but I can't be arsed with the numbers. But just to give you a slice and an idea of just how nuts it is, trying to collect everything, you know, that's put behind the monetization. It's not like this is a game that's about collections!
Is that everything you can buy from the shop?
Yeah, today. Just today. So, Season 1 being summated in the absolute ridiculous amount of moolah required to be able to collect everything, as said, in a collection-based game. I think things couldn't get worse, could you? You'd be wrong. Oh, you'd be wrong. You'd be very wrong. Oh, yeah. Wrong like fucking bending your back like you're Kylie Minogue. Fucking... Can you help me, please? Expansions and seasons! Just in case you were wondering where I was going with the previous statement, no, don't worry, because even though there's all the stuff that I've just said that's monetized, that will still be monetized moving forward, all the things, all the doodads, all the colours, all the this, all of that, they still charge you for it. Eventually, they stopped making them consumable and infinite. Took them a while, though. But once Forsaken came around, they introduced seasons. No, I've been saying Season 1, that's a retroactive thing. It wasn't a season then, it was just launch game, DLC 1, DLC 2. But along came... A donkey dying. The new model expansions and seasons Forsaken came around and revolutionised the whole system of them being able to make content yearly. Shockingly enough, you got to pay for that. But don't worry though, because if you're looking to save your money, you can get Forsaken and the annual pass. Season pass. The annual pass came later, I think. Hang on. Season pass usually means the season pass, like the items you get with it. But then the season pass meant buying all the seasons together. I'm not sure which means what now. Now, I don't remember what the price was, or the packaging was specifically, but as is tradition all the time with what they do with this stuff, when an expansion comes out, you can buy the whole year collectively, which is kind of what they've always wanted you to do, and it's what I've always done, because it saves you the money, and I'm a sad addict, and I might as well, if I'm going to spend money, spend the least money. Don't worry though, the loot boxes were still there! So glad they changed the laws, so I've got to accept fucking all the cookies, and I'm still hungry!
Destiny 2 came out 2000... 17.
Do you feel old yet? Because at this point I'm going to be a little all over the place with where things go. I've now found out that they got rid of loot boxes on Season 10, so Season of the Worthy. It took them until midway through Year 3 to get rid of loot boxes. It's a lot of... hunting. And headaches.
They had loot boxes for 3 years.
Think of all the money they made on that one. Don't worry, they got rid of them eventually though. So don't worry, you can still buy levels on the Season/Battle Pass. So the expansions, I'd say you have to pay for that now. But Destiny was always a yearly thing where you paid money for it. They just rebranded it a little bit with the seasons and things, which means, hey, you get content now. Instead of there being content drives, you just get here's a new yearly thing, and here's the new yearly thing, with maybe a Halloween event and some fucking stupid Easter egg hunt in the middle. No, this time you actually get content. You gotta pay for it, of course. I'm not mad about that. Of course you can pay for that. It's just all the Eververse and the this and the loot boxes and the that. It's kind of bullshit. And as you can see, we have a fair few of those expansions for you to buy these days. $60 a piece if you're getting it flat. About 80 to 90, maybe 100 these days. I know it's £80 for me when I bought it. I remember it distinctly. They were all £80. At a certain point, no point in particular, this seems oddly sensual. That might go up by a little bit, but we'll get there soon. So now you've got to buy the game, the base DLCs, the big DLC, then the mini DLCs with the big DLC, but you still got to pay for it all in all, so it's still technically a different purchase. And if you're a freak, weirdo, virgin, dickhead collector, you got to buy the loot boxes too. Oh, and also at some point, I don't remember when this came in, it might have been day one, but because I wasn't sure, I didn't want to include it just in case to cover myself. Whenever they did an event, like here's a special thing going on that usually wasn't all that special. They also had new ornaments and things to buy for that as well. Don't worry though, because the Eververse store does have bright dust for you to be able to get things for free. Wouldn't it be a shame if they made a certain amount of items silver-only purchase? Oh, silver's the currency you buy with your money to make your money seem like it's more valuable, so you don't see the price tag in-game, which is fucking stupid because you buy 800 silver, then that item's 800 silver. Gee, me thinkums, I've got the price, Dad. On the right-hand side, you've got the things you can buy with dust. There's a fair few and I'm not mad about it. Although, bear in mind, not all of these are new. They have several years of things to pick out from. Meanwhile over here, yeah, the silver only, the money only, the direct purchase only. So while I can't tell you how many items there are total that are silver only purchase, there will be a time where I go through and make an example of what it'd be like if just a certain amount were. Just if everything this season were, how much it would cost. That's an example I'll give any moment now. If memory serves, the Fortnite, oh, it says it right there, 2000. I was right, I was going to say that. Not that you could believe me now, because I didn't say it, but I really did. Am I going to need a calculator for this? I want to skip this bit. So, just for this season, with some finishers, some ornaments, some weapon ornaments, who cares, really? The total is 31,100 silver. Now let's assume, you go all out, and you spend the one that saves you the most money, gives you the most free money.
There's no such thing as free fucking money.
So I could get 6,000 if I spend £40. That's £400. And for the extra 1,000, oh perfect, it's 1,100. There's a bundle for that. It's £8.49. 5 loads of £40, £200, and then the £8.49, 200 and £8.49. Now I don't know what the regional equivalent would be. I'd do that on the Google, but that is to just buy everything this season. Now bear in mind that not everything on that page is silver only.
Is that including the Battle Pass levels? What if you was to buy them as well? Would that be included?
If you wanted to buy them only, that's completely separate. Ah yes, here's the season ranks. 1,000 silver each for 10 ranks, so that'd be 10,000. So as memory serves, that'll basically be like 70, 80 pounds. So I don't know why you'd want to buy that, but with listing included, that would be £278 and 49 pence.
Say you just getting into Destiny this season, and you was like, oh, I'm going to buy the game.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to buy all the cosmetics. How much would that be, including the price of the game and all the DLC?
Are you implying that this year you would have bought the whole year at once?
Yeah.
The answer would be £70 extra if you were to buy it when it's not on sale, but it is currently 33% off. I'm seriously not knocking that. That's actually a sale. That isn't the silver items that turn up on the store on sale immediately. No, it should have been 2,400 points. It's only 17. No, come buy it. We put an offer for you. At launch. That's not a sale. That's a mental manipulation, monetization tactic used by bastards and granddads. But do bear in mind, as said again, that would be the edition that comes with all the seasons. I think you might get a shiny doodad or two as well. Didn't show me on Steam, I couldn't be fucked to find it. You know what it's like? Oh, it's the deluxe edition. You get something that's supposed to be deluxe. Deluxe. Fucking Jewish now, apparently. L'chaim. That's the expansion edition. And again, don't forget, New season, there's new things to buy. New silver only. Maybe some bright dust, but maybe you didn't play enough to be able to afford it and you still want it, so you're gonna get some more silver. And there's the little mini events like the Christmas, the Halloweens, the whatever the hell else is, because I always forget. And they got rid of some. There was a Crimson's Day one for Valentine's Day. It was duos. It's kind of cute, but it wasn't that good, so they got rid of it. Do you remember any other things?
They do have a lot of merch.
The merch! The merch! Unlockable! I believe this was in the game mostly since day one, maybe not. So again, to cover my arse, it's in the middle of this, because I can't organise to save my life. Script was there. Destiny's a particularly special little porky pig of a case of monetization, because they saw the idea of achievements, and they saw the idea of merchandise, and they smashed them together. I mean, you know, from an industry standpoint, I want to sit back and go, well done, that's amazing. But then, you know, you remember, there's a lot of it. It costs a fair amount, and it's still high quality, but there's a fucking lot of it! For instance, an example, because there are so many of them. If you were to buy the expansion of the year, and then beat the story within a certain amount of time, you know, typically the same season you bought it, you'd be able to buy a hoodie, for example, that you can only buy if you bought the game, and then beat the game, within the game, on your account, with the code locked to your game to buy the merch. Actually, wait, the code isn't locked to your game. Mika gave me a code for something at one point. Cheers, Maker. But there's stuff like that. There's stuff like, oh, there's a raid. You beat it week 1. You can buy the raid jacket. Don't know why I've done this as many times as I have. I own many of them. Yeah, I was one of the people that was sad that they didn't do one this year. Well, I'm going to get this off now because it's fucking violent. So I'm on the fence as whether or not I think this is a bad thing for them to do. It's kind of unique. It's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. But you remember the prices for these things. Can we cut the bit out where I was wearing one of those? Don't see me on. Don't look at me. Don't fucking look at me. That's one raid jacket, of which there is typically one a year. And as said, there's plenty of other merch things you unlock. I have just remembered. They also sell raid rings. So per raid, if you were to be a collectible boy that wanted everything because you feel compulsively compelled to buy these things, that'd be a $275, please. Not counting shipping, which here is £40 to £60. Maybe one day Destiny will be a global franchise. I can sell these for millions like a fucking shiny Charizard card with Pokemon and then Jake Paul, Logan Paul, wears around his neck to WrestleMania. You know, maybe I can do that. So when you consider how many raids there are that have done that, you know, it's probably like $1,000+ if you bought them all. And I don't think I bought them all, so I don't feel that bad, but I could have done. If I played them all at that point, I probably would have done. I have a problem, and this is what they hope for. This is just, I am their target audience. I am their mark.
Does they do the thing with the merch where if you're a collector, you get emblems as well? So you literally, if you want to collect everything, you've got to buy merch.
Oh no!
This is why he's here. He's not just a great cameraman. He remembers things that I've forgotten. I didn't even speak to him about. That's amazing. They do plenty of merch. Is that it? Plenty of merch. Like there's 5 pages of the apparel. There's all this and all that, and there's plenty of things that they do that are limited. Oh, they've got a Kingsfall raid ring, but not the jacket. Ah, time to spend my money on that.
I missed that. What's it on the page? Please don't do that again.
You want to give me a fucking warning when you're doing that.
You looked away for a second. I thought I was doing good.
I've been fucking doing this how long? I got whiplash, man. Anyway, yeah. They've got pins you can buy when you beat the seasons. They've got pins you can buy when beating the raid. Rings, jackets, we did that. Just random stuff that's limited. You only got so much time. And as Luke did perfectly point out, many a time they will attach an emblem, and I swear sometimes a shader? Am I getting that wrong? That might be a Halo thing. To these items, so you feel compulsively compelled to collect and buy them. Maybe you don't even want the stupid little raid pins, or whatever pins it is that are around this house somewhere, because you just wanted the emblem you've never equipped.
Pretty sure I got you a cookbook one year while I was going to with just had an emblem in it.
Do you hear that? That's fucking real. I didn't tell him to say that. It's not part of the script I've not wrote. Yeah, you love cooking, don't you? Your favourite utensil's the microwave. So I refuse to go through what the prices would be if you bought everything on here. Let me just give you some examples of what things are priced. There's an International Women's Day pin for $15. That's on pre-order. And what do you know? There's an emblem right there. There's a seasonal pin for $23. They also sell a big pin board for you to put them all in. Then there's a collectible wearable. I thought about buying this and stopped myself. I'm actually growing up. Helmet thought, don't worry, it's on sale, it's not actually $200. It's $156.77. If you're a real Bungie fan, you'll go, there's 2 sevens. Pretty cool though, I've got to say. You do that with a Shaq's helmet, I might buy it. There's the mini helmets. They're $60, currently $47.77. Then you've got the collectible edition statue that you could have gone with, I said, the collector's edition. That's $250. That's $250, and don't worry, it comes with a fucking emblem. And then, if you're feeling particularly spicy and also very not nicey to your wallet, $400 for that. It's alright, they've got the statue dimensions here. It's about yay big. I'll have you know my foot's 1 foot long. Alright, there's a reason they came up with that description. Based it on Brett, didn't they? You got this stupid plushie that looks goofy as all fuck. I actually want it because of it, and no, I won't. For $25, here's the lovely wooden pin I was talking about, the display case, I should say. Don't worry, it comes with an exclusive pin as well, just so you're compelled to buy theirs and not someone else's. And then their average shirt is $25, but because this one's a pre-order for the upcoming expansion, they added $5 more to that one. Quite frankly, I don't feel like being a walking billboard for someone's fucking game. Alright, shall I layer that over what I've just said, or shall I say it again? So that's the merch. Yeah, you know, I'm not knocking the merch when it comes to it. Everything has merch. These guys crank it out like fuck knows what, and it's not even low effort, I'd say. Although they do wank us off in the EU and very little is available that I'll actually want it. If anything, the only problem I've got is them attaching the in-game collectibles to them to entice people all the more to buy things they don't want for the slight thing they might want, and then blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, more money for them, less money for the consumers, poor whales. So yeah, that's about that for the merch. It's a good thing there isn't anything else to talk about, isn't there? The new stuff! 'Cause there's more! One day, they decided, you know what? With the expansion and the DLCs, it's the seasons, that's not enough! You know, the events where we sell even more on top of the seasonal silver items that are always there. How about we just for fun sell an extra thing? An entirely different an entirely different thing. Because out of nowhere, right? Because there's no way this wasn't releasing otherwise. Granted, looking back it seems fair because COVID and everything delayed the season, so it became 6 months, and this came out in the middle of it. And you might think, oh, they released it just to try and make do because of the problems they were having because of COVID, and they never would have done this any other way. Bullshit! They were making this for the longest time and intending to sell it on top of it at some point. It timed itself very well to not look that bad, but they did! Overwhelmingly negative reviews. The content's great for the record. The actual gameplay is just the pricing. It's the fact they sold this. The 30th anniversary event was £20, £22. It might be 40% off right now and free on the Epic Games Store. That doesn't make a goddamn difference. It came out at that price, and it came with some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it had a dungeon, had an entirely new activity, and a bunch of loot. It came with a bunch of armors as well. There was some free stuff you could do, but not very much, I do believe. But again, it wasn't the content of what they were selling that was the problem. It's the fact they were selling it for the price that they were. It was more than a season, and it was less content than a season. The average season's about £10 to £15 when you divvy it up and do whatever, and if you buy it individually, I don't even know. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm saying here, you can buy the seasons within the game itself. It is not on Steam, which is why they are selling Season of the Plunder Silver Bundle. And don't worry, because if you buy this, you also get an exclusive fresh baguette emote. So again, it wasn't what was being sold, just the price and the comparison to everything else. It was damn near half of an expansion if you're not buying the big bad edition that comes with all the other seasons, which you really probably should have said, because this game absolutely rakes you over the coals if you don't. If you buy it as all-in inclusive, it's like £80 now. But if you had to buy everything separately, I'm gonna have a fucking struggle bus to actually find it. It's $10 per season. So, for the base game, it would be £40. Then for each season, it would be, we're going to go with £10. I know it's dollars here, but it's probably £10 because it always is. It'd be 10 a piece, which is 4, bringing you to 80, which is the price of the deluxe edition without any of the deluxe stuff. And I haven't even got to the new stuff. That's the next bit. Are you ready for the next bit? They're selling dungeons now! Yes. So selling dungeons now? Selling dungeons separately. Remember, if you buy the yearly thing altogether, you get everything. Please buy it instantly. Please, straight up, all your cash money without having anyone to review and let you know if it's any good. No peer reviews, no nothing, no information about it, not even knowing what you're buying. Please buy everything before we've even finished making it ourselves. Because that's how it works. The Lightfall thing right now is available to buy. Lightfall itself isn't finished, never mind the seasons at the end of the pass that I've already bought. Think about it. I know I've said that I'm a stupid poopy idiot that doesn't care and will play it no matter what because, excuse me, I'm a habitual whore. But there are so many people that like to take educated purchases in this game it doesn't want you to do it. It doesn't want you to do it. And the dungeon is $20, bringing you to the total of, we're doing pounds again, £100 if you were to buy everything separately. And that's not even going over all the other things that you wouldn't get that's included. I'm not even done. That's the best bit. I'm still not done. There's still 2 more things. And the second thing, of the 2 things, is several things. Season Pass Layer 2! I'm not saying Boogaloo. Oh, on top of everything that they already have layered in, the game, well, the game's free now, but let's be fair and say current day, not old day. The expansion, the season, and now, when there's one of those events, you can flip this that fucking way, and that's what you're going to be when you buy it. There's an event pass. That event pass that has already released was a big nothing this year, but it's still one of those slippery slopes that people warned us about back when record books were in Destiny 1. Talked about that. It's where you play the game, you get the achievements, but you don't get the unlocks unless you pay the price to unlock them. They basically brought that back. It's near enough exactly that. Now that event pass has said wasn't that bad. And why am I saying that? It's because the things that you got were garbage. Because this year, essentially all they did was build the infrastructure for the unlock system or whatever the shit, but the reward was just what was essentially going to be an event bundle that no one would have cared about. Oh, but wait, that is bad. Because now they've got on a system where you have an entire unlock track tracking your progression, saying you've got this and you could get this if you pay this, and it was things that you otherwise maybe would never have cared about or even seen before, but now you've got the sunk cost fallacy telling you you've done all these things. It's only 1,000 more silver. You can get yourself 10 things you don't care about, or 1 you do. I think it's actually a total of 5 items. It was the shader that was good, that was it. Everything else was a bunch of caca-poopy doggo. 1,000 silver. Same price as a season. Same price as a season that gives you all the content. A season pass to level up and get a bunch of stuff. It was $10 for 5 items. Sunk cost fallacy, so it's there. So, hey, raise your hand if you did it even though you never would have done because you saw the thing saying you've done it and oh, you don't want to miss out. This guy. That was the season that had the dungeon. So in terms of value of that season that you would have put money on potentially, with this dungeon pass giving you half of its value there, that's a $30 season now. It was previously 10, now it's 30 because of half the dungeon pass, the season itself, and now the event pass. The event lasted like 2 to 3 weeks. The content's free, but those stupid little doodads, it's just there. Just taunting and tickling and teasing you with FOMO. Don't want to miss out on the things you've already earned. You can't give them to you unless you give us some money. But you've earned them. We keep telling you every time you come to the screen. Because every time you go to the screen you need to go to be able to do the thing to unlock the progress, it keeps telling you, hey, what do you want to buy this?
Battery's flashing, man.
So that one might sound more minor than the rest, but when you consider that it's something that's introduced now that will be staying and probably maybe get worse, maybe it'll get better, air quotes, and there'll actually be more things of value worth doing later on. This was just a trial run to see. Not that they knew, definitely, that people would do this just because of the exact thing I said, of, oh, you've unlocked it, but you can't give you the prize, come on, just a little bit more money and we'll give it you, it's fine. This isn't a Destiny video necessarily, this is a monetization one. I'm not going to get into leaks and all the things coming in Lightfall, but within that, everything in that leak was right.
In the loosest possible way.
At the bottom of it, they said that they will be looking into expanding upon the event pass system. Anyway, it's a good thing there isn't one more thing to do, and I'm done now. I can finally fucking start expanding the expansion and being even more FOMO-y. I know what you're thinking. How can they possibly have made the expansion, the yearly give us money thing, any worse? How could they possibly have done that? Well, I mean, it's not like they've done that much. It's not like they added or took away anything. You know, they didn't start selling dungeons separately or anything. They did that last year. It's not like they started making the season passes even more obsolete by selling you even more passes. No, they did that this year. Actually, they were both this year. They've gone ahead and they've sweetened the deal that little bit more by saying there's going to be a seasonal bonus we're going to give you. It's not that much, but it's that little bit more. Let me tell you, it's 1 cosmetic accessory. That's the good bit. 2 ascendant alloys. It's not that good. Not that bad. 3 ascendant shards. Same thing as last. 1 exotic cipher and 5 upgrade modules. The last 2, little bit pants. Don't really care. But they're selling you that. You'll get that once a season if you were to buy this edition now. That's not that bad. It's just one of those things where, once again, if assuming the exotic accessory is exclusive, that's a bum scratch. That's a sphincter tickle. That's a rectum widener. That's just a little bit more. Not all the way, just a... But fear not, because that's not all. No. They've done the unthinkable. They actually did it. The madman, the mad lads, the crazy bastards. You know what they did? You know what they do? If you pre-ordered the game right now, this moment, they give you an exotic today! One that's broken, or technically broken. It broke the raid. It needed to be disabled. It's not like it's a broken gun that's fucking meta and everyone's using it, but it's the principle of the fact that it's a... Let me describe it for you. In a game of guns that shoot bullets, and then you get a laser here and a rocket there, this is an assault rifle that every 10 to 15 bullets, or 5 to 15, I don't know if it's random or if it's just me, we're not fucking paying attention, it'll shoot a little mini rocket that goes and does some damage to the enemy. And when every 15 to 20 bullets that you've hit, not just shot, because I think you don't need to hit the shot to get the rocket, whatever, who cares, you get a grenade launcher ammo that you can fire from it. Goes up to 3, you hold X, you swap it over, you do it, does loads of damage. That's what they're selling. For £80, technically, if you pre-order a bunch of content that's mostly not done or entirely not started. I've already fucking bought it! I use it, so I know the gun's good! I'm a mug that does this, fill me with coffee and drink out of me. It's just another thing on top of the 1,000 other things. Should we recap? I'm going to recap, because these days, the game is free. But at one point, you bought the game, bought the DLCs, bought the yearly expansion, then seasons were introduced and it came with their events and their own monetization. The monetization of the Eververse was there the entire bastarding time. Now there's dungeon passes, random expansions every now and then that aren't even the full ones and they're massively overpriced. That's the Bungie one with the dungeon and the one activity and the bunch of guns that talk about the 30th anniversary. And then... Oh no, that's it. Or is it? I mean, technically, the half point is the selling the exotic for the pre-order. An exotic for a pre-order. I mean, I said I'm an idiot that already would have done it, but it's the fact that they're doing that even a bit more. And there could be an entire other point still coming at some point in the near future, because the event passes are only going to get worse. Did I say event passes? I'm pretty sure I said event passes. No! We're going to put that finger up either for the one I forgot or the one that's coming. You got 8.5 points of the things that are monetized in this game, and if you were here throughout all of it, you paid for all of that, and if you were a fucking gooseman idiot, you were doing the loot boxes when they were there. And there's still the silver-only items, which I am going to hypothetically right now just give you an example of. This is what I'm doing with the items of unfair, because what I'm going to use as the example, they're not silver-only. But for the fuck of it, because I can't be out trying to figure out what is, just as an example. We're going to come over here to Archive. Look at that fucking page display. I don't know how many there are, but we're going to find out. So, these are all 1,500 apiece. There are 5 on a page, 5 on a row, 10 on a page. Shut up. Again, transparency, these items, seasonally, that they are released are always available for Bright Dust in the store. It's a little bit of a FOMO, you gotta log in each week, make sure you don't miss it, but whatever the fuck. I mean, as far as things go, at least it's not daily, it's weekly. So, there's 15 loads of 1,500 silver. Can we stop there? That's already 53,000 silver, I'm rounded down. So, we have added all these things together that are from the archive, and there's a reason I've done this, is because I do believe there isn't a single event item in there. Now, the past 5 years of this game, there's no events in here, there's no individual special things, it's all seasonal and expansion stuff that was archived. So I'm not saying this is accurate whatsoever. This isn't. This is hypothetical for the sake of saying. Do you want to take a guess at what amount I got to? So this is silver, remember, this is the silver, this is the weird inflated number price.
Must be close to 100k. More. 200?
It's 268,015 silver.
If you were to have bought enough silver to have bought all of those items, every single one of them, roughly, randomly, roundabout, maybe a bit more because you'd have that little bit less silver that you needed actually, it would cost you £1,787. And at £80 a year, at 5 years, you've got to add £400 to that as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's a more expensive habit than crack.
on the whole, like, run-up to this, I forgot to mention the fact that everybody blamed Activision for all this monetization. Monetization, barring the loot boxes, got worse when they left Activision. It got worse. And I'm sure now there'll be people blaming Sony for the event passes now that they've partnered up with them, or they were acquired by them, but they talk about it like it's a partnership. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but they got several billion for it, so I don't want to hear that it was Activision. It was Bungie, alright? I'm not even mad at them. Company's got to make money. Get it. Maybe be a little less fucking aggressive. When you come up to my door, you pound on the door, I answer it, then you keep pounding on my fucking head for the money. Do I not own enough from this fucking stupid game? I bought you penguins, I bought you collector's editions, I bought the dumb little collectibles that no one bloody needed, and someone bought me this for Christmas. When is it enough? So all in all, I'm aware I'm part of the problem. I may very well be the problem. I didn't make this video to help you, I made it to help myself.
Any final thoughts before I turn it off?
Any final thoughts? Yeah, I could do with my money back.
Thanks for watching, and watch other please. Hit subscribe and the bell for refinding ease. And if you could like the video too, and tell your mum, your friends, anyone, I don't care, anyone! I'll be back soon, hopefully not that long.